Hey folks, back in the shop. Project actually. So you've seen me make two different kinds of picture frames. I made the floating picture frame, which was for a canvas painting. Those are usually 5/8 to 3/4 inch thick. It's a floating frame. You watched it. If you didn't watch the video, go watch it, for crying out loud. The other was what I would call a standard picture frame. If you have a photo or piece of paper that you want to put behind glass and make it all pretty and whatever. Well, I found out there is a third type of artwork that you might run into, and that is, I don't know what to call it, canvas on a board. This is what it is. It's a canvas material, okay? It's about 1/8 inch thick. This is one that is just my test piece, but it's kind of a hybrid. It's going to take in parts of the other two frames, but it's kind of different at the same time. So I have 3 of these that I have to frame up for someone. It has been a crazy busy month of June. It seems like I had to go somewhere, come home for 2 days and leave again, and then come home and leave again. And now we're in July, after July 4th. It is July 8th, actually. And I finally get to be in the shop. I have some news coming up that I can't talk about just yet, but it's going to prove to make July just as exhausting. When I'm able to tell you what that is, I'll let you know. So for this project, of course, I don't have anything that's not milled up. I have this piece of oak that's a little bit, janky, but I think I can get enough cutting all of this out to make up my 3 frames. And so that means I have to start by milling the wood. This is the one thing that I don't like about woodworking, is milling up the wood. Save a ton of money doing it, but it's such a drag. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. And when I get that all done, everything's milled up and we're ready to start making a frame, I'll bring you back in. Okay, now we have some decisions we have to make. I hate making decisions. And that is, how wide do we want the picture frame? And when I say how wide do we want the picture frame, I lost the thing. I have no idea where. How wide do we want it to the art? If this represents your art, don't do it. But how wide to the art do we want the frame? My thickness came out to about 3/4, right in that ballpark. The 8x10 picture that I have to do, which is the smallest of them. Yeah, that's the smallest of them, 8x10. I wrote them down. I'm thinking 1 inch. And I want very little covering up the actual picture, is the least amount possible to cover up the picture, because the frame is what's going to hold the picture in place. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with 1 inch to the face of the picture, and then we can add details and stuff to it later. So let me go ahead and cut my 1 inch strips, and we'll go from there. Upon further review, I decided to go with, well, I moved it now, but I think I went with like 1 1/8, which really seems irrelevant, but it made me feel better. So at this point, we can put some detail on it. And I got some new router bits for Father's Day. I have been dying to try these out. So that's next. So this is the new router bit set. 15-piece set, carbide tip. Everything you ever wanted in a router bit set. I was looking for that screwdriver. I got some junk to clean up before I can run this. And then we'll pick a router bit and go to it. Okay, so I've tried to get you down to eye level there, and I have a flashlight on this because there's a bit of a shadow. Setting the height, okay? This is my styled side, if you want to say. I have the dado set in, set for 1/4 inch, because I only want this to cover up the artwork by 1/4 inch, so I don't want to go no more than that. Setting my height isn't quite as important, but I don't want it to be super deep into the frame. So I'm going to go about 1/4 inch also that direction. And maybe test the artwork after it's cut out and see how it looks. Okay, you guys have seen this before. I can't see nothing. Glasses are filthy. You've seen this before. This is a picture frame jig. I've told you, you know, who to go watch to find it. My artwork is 8x10. Where's the other piece for that? Can't do nothing without, oh, here it is. Sure. Get that up there. That might help some. Probably not. All right. Oh, it's already up there. Eh. You're going to cut a 45, sling it around here, set this to 10. That'll give you 2 pieces that are exactly the same length. Same thing with the 8-inch side, I guess. So Here we go. Okay, now we slide this up to 8-inch. I might be able to get that out of there. We're going to try it. Be worth it if I can. Oh, we're going to make it. This thing works beautiful. Okay. I brought the artwork out temporarily. I have my frame sort of loosely put together. I have a square on it. Probably should put another one on it, which I can do. We'll get this little guy. Put him up here. Just to kind of... that's not going to work because of that design I put on there. That's okay. We're close. Anyway, the point of the matter is, before I do any kind of glue up or anything like that, now is the time to make sure the artwork is going to fit in the frame. It says 8 by 10. I measured it. It's pretty close. This should be 8 by 10, but we're going to try it out and see. I like it. It fits nice. It's not a snug fit, but it's not going to bounce around. And actually, when I went in to get the artwork, I was looking at it. This has been framed before. And it had a 1/4 inch overlap on its previous frame. So I think that we're pretty much good. I don't know that that's square at all because it's not sitting where I want it to. There. Now we're good. Okay. Now that I know that that's good, I'm going to get the artwork out of here because this ain't no place for artwork. And I think we're going to dial the dial is a soap or a thing you turn on your amplifier. Dowel. D-O-W-E-L-L. Dowel. We're going to dial this together like I did in the, some previous ones. I really like the way that worked. I love the look of splines. I figured out why I'm having so much trouble with splines whenever I do it. I don't have a flat top blade. Is that what it's called? A flat, you know, I don't know. I don't have that blade. So mine leaves little ridges on the inside, and that's why I have so much trouble with splines. So until I get a different blade, this is the method I'm going to use because I actually like it anyway. So that's next on the agenda. This particular piece of art was in an art contest where it won the popular vote in 1957. This, no pressure, no pressure. Okay. Flip the frame back over. I have 2 squares on it. And now we're just going to draw our lines so I know that my dowels are going to that my dowels are going to line up. And we're going to figure out where we want them. because remember, we have a 1/4 inch inset, so I'm going to come right here. I don't have my, I don't got nothing. I've been gone for a month. Let's do this. We're going to measure in from the corner. Huh, what do you know? The eye of an eagle, 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. Okay. Now it's just a matter of drilling. Again, I am using 5/16 dowels. So we're going to have this right here. Now, I should have dowels cut. Ah, cobweb. That should work. Okay. So now I got to go through the whole process of setting this up and everything, and you guys don't really care about that. So I got everything drilled, got everything doweled with a W. I made a impromptu decision to move in another 1/8 of an inch because I was a little bit too close to the artwork whenever I drilled the first hole, and I didn't like it. And that worked out great, except whenever you're lining it up to the lines in your dowel jig, make sure you're using the right line, because I didn't on one of them. I'm going to get away with it. I checked it out. It's going to line up. It's all good. Just if you have to remark, get rid of the previous lines. Save yourself some heartache. So now it's just a matter of gluing this up. Normally I sand this before I glue it up. I think this time I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to glue it up, make sure it's square, let it set. Then I'll sand it, do the stain, do the whatever, the whole thing, and go from there. But as far as where I'm at now, all my dowels are in. It's dry fitted, it looks good, it looks square. And so now it's just a matter of glue up and clamps. So what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to spread some glue out on the end grain, yuck, and let that sit, not very long, just the amount of time it takes me to go around, because that's going to sink in, or so they say, so I've read, so I've seen on YouTube. And then I'll come back and glue it again. But that's not really where the strength is going to come from. The strength is going to come from the dowels. But I guess every little bit helps. Okay. Okay, it's glued, it's in clamps, it's fairly square. It's square. Not like that though. Oh yeah, we're golden. Oop. Okay. So we're gonna let that sit at least for a couple hours. I have to go make dinner. Maybe I'll get this sanded and stained tonight. Maybe I won't. I still have 2 more of these that I need to make before delivery, which hopefully is by Monday.
I'm not going to film all of them. Don't worry, I won't put you through that. We're just going to film this one, but I have two more to make besides this, different sizes. So we're going to let that sit. I'm going to go cook some chicken, and I'll see you whenever I get back.
So here is a shot of the mounting hardware that I use. Just a real simple loop and a screw and some wire. I use shrink tubing once it's in place. That way no one's getting jabbed with a piece of wire. Turning it around, and you can see that the picture rests right up against the frame. And we'll hang it up and see what it looks like. And there it is, hanging up in place. Looks pretty good. I'm happy with the way it came out. I think the person who's receiving this is going to be happy with it. Folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, stop back. See me again. I'll be building something else. In the meantime, God bless. Have a good day.